myself Vatsal, and we are from the Career Development Cell Research. So the series it's called CDCR. So its main motive is to like aware and prepare scholars for the upcoming placement drive, which includes different workshop and webinars on resume building, preparation for the technical and non-technical test, and also to give some light on the how to crack interview sessions or other very well other different parts. It's all conducted by completely CDCR research team. So today's session is based on the placement talk series, where we talk about from our previous alumni, how is their experience and what they face for the placement series. So today's our speaker is Mr. Arnab Chakravarti, who is working in the TCS Research and Innovation team. He has completed his BTech from Jadavpur University, and further he get his master degree from IIT Kharagpur before joining MS in the IIT Madras from Mechanical Department. He also is a visiting researcher at Texas A&M University, USA, and KUAST, Saudi Arabia. His research domain is about the experiment in the fluid mechanics, multi-phase flow, turbulence, combustion, atomization, and spraying. So I will I would like to join Mr. Arnab Chakravarti to give our fellow members about how to crack what is the placement strategy and how it will be help give his suggestions to for the placement drive. So over to you, Arnav.
Uh, Thank Vatsal. So, uh, thank you, IIT Madras Placement Cell, for inviting me for this talk. I am very much privileged and honored. So, today I am going to give my perspective of what I felt during my placement days, what kind of struggle I did, and how I overcome all of those things. So, okay, I will initially present a small PPT. Then I will discuss some certain points. Then, if you are having any doubts, any queries, anything, you can ask me, or later you can reach me through my email. The email ID is given in the PPT. So, okay, can you see the PPT? Hello.
Yes, we can see Arnav.
Okay. So the talk is on placement preparation strategies and handling multiple tasks at the same time during the pandemic. I myself, Arnav, working as a system engineer or researcher in TCS Research and Innovation. So this is a cartoon. As you can see that this is a typical student life scenario during the placement session. So I will start from here. Just a minute. Just a minute. Um, Pointer options. Okay. Can you see my pointer? Hello?
No.
Yeah, we are not exactly able to see the pointer, but you can give idea about like left corner or right corner of the slide.
Okay, just a minute.
You can put on a slideshow.
Yeah, I put already in a slideshow.
Uh,
Now, okay.
We are not
yeah,
able
we
to
can
see
see.
the
Yes,
slideshow.
we can see.
Okay, but in slideshow mode, now slides are changing?
No.
No?
We are in. I can see second slide.
Okay, third is not there.
No, third is not there.
Yeah, and even it's not on a slideshow.
Oh, yeah, I was actually in slideshow. It is not supporting somehow. Okay, let's talk here.
Please share your entire screen. That's better. Instead of
Okay.
a window, you can share it.
Either you can zoom in if
Okay,
it's not having slideshow.
okay, just a minute. Skin, uh, now you can see.
Yes, now it is visible.
Okay. Okay, some problem is coming. Okay, no problem. Okay, so this is a typical student life during the placement session. So I'm starting from here. You can see people who are going to see for the placement, they're having multiple questions in their mind, and this phase comes every year for every student. So I'm starting from here. So each and every of us used to think about our research, thesis, publications, and most of the scholars are fighting for the funding, because we used to get funding for 2.5 years. Sometimes used to be stretched for longer years due to the guides, due to the administration, or due to the toughness of the problem. Then sometimes we used to think, should we start a startup or our own business? Is it a good idea? Or sometime if you are having a good CGPA, let's say 8.5 and above, guide used to offer, oh, why don't you join my lab for the PhD? Why don't you convert here? So that thoughts also uh, come into our mind, that is, should I continue PhD here? Because IITM is a very good campus, we are having very good facilities, and the life is also good. So okay, I can think about it. Then sometimes we used to think about the CAT or GMAT or ISB preparations for the B schools. And then whatever we do for the 2 to 3 years, when the placement session come and friends start to preparing, so it always trigger us for the placement. So the question is the how to start these preparations. That is a major question. And at the same time, we used to think, should I write GRE? Should I apply for PhD in abroad? Many of my friends are applying. Or some of the people used to again start preparing for GATE, for PSUs, government jobs, and the UPSC preparations. As a whole, these all of these thoughts used to come in our minds and make our life miserable. So then for me, it's like, oh God, I want to sleep peacefully. So these thoughts are killing me. So just I want to suggest here one thing. So being in IIT, being an IITian, we should learn how to manage multiple things at the same time. That is called multitasking. Multitasking is only the attitude what can give you the solution for everything. So here I have listed two major things. One is the time management, one is the stress management. So time management is very much important. So as I feel, this pandemic situation affected many of us in a very bad manner. I'm an experimentalist, and during pandemic my experiment got stuck. I did not have results. Whatever results I had, I used to process it from home, so I could not able to do the further experiments. So if you are not planning your work well in advance, if you are not planning your time, productive time well in advance, then if something occurs in near future, you will be in trouble. So always calculate your productive time well in advance. Then sometimes our due to our guide, due to our laziness, due to something, our research problem is not well defined. So my thought is, from the day one, you should be very clear what you are going to do, how much time it required, and how much effort you can put to complete your MS in proper time. So properly schedule a plan for your MS research, placements, and other preparations practices. For me, it was at 10 hours. I used to be in lab for like office hours, like 8 to 10 hours. Yeah, sometimes it requires more, but that is a very occasional, not regular basis, on the regular basis. So I used to spend 10 hours for MS research, and for 3 to 4 hours for preparation is good enough. And depending upon your preparations, your confidence, your workload, the sleep time can be adjusted, although it is not recommended. But again, you have to manage. For me, it was 4 to 7 hours max. At max, sleep was okay for me. And another important thing is that you should know your focus timings and defocus timings. Uh, Focus timings means we all are having certain times where we used to feel very comfortable for um, reading, writing, or something, whatever we want to do. And there are something defocus times when we cannot focus. We are very disturbed. Some thoughts used to come into our mind. We are thinking something else. Lots of problems. So those I used to call them defocus timings. So during the focus timing, don't waste it. Do your intense preparation during these focus timings and do practice. I used to do practice during these defocus timings. Like for example, for me, the first half of a day used to be defocus timing. I cannot able to concentrate. So I used to do all the practice work in the first half. Then it is very important to monitor your weekly progress. Self-evaluation is much needed always. And set your weekly plans well in advance. And another important thing is that we are in IIT, we are having a very big, huge library. It's ample of books. Nowadays, we are having internets. You can read, download any of the books. So my point is, don't take So if you are having ample amount of resources, you may not use them effectively or optimally. So my suggestion is, don't take multiple books. One main book or textbook should be fine, and along with it you take 1 or 2 reference books what will cover the extra amount which you cannot find in the main book. And most importantly, I don't prefer any notes or suggestions. Read always the textbook thoroughly from the beginning to the end page. And most importantly, there is no shortcut or no cheat code through which you can achieve your goal over a night. And always don't do the show up things that you are studying something, you are doing research. Show up won't bring you anything. So be truthful, dedicated, hardworking, confident, and respectful to yourself. There is nothing, I don't believe in smart work. There is nothing called smart work. There is no definition. It is all about our time management skill and true dedication towards whatever we are doing. Just do it by your passion. Don't do it forcefully. Then you would achieve nothing. Then the stress management during our the student days, we are in stress. We used to be in stress due to the multiple reasons. There are 2 kinds of stress. One is the personal level, one is the professional level. At this age, we all know we used to suffer from the relationship problems, family problems. Financial problem is a big issue, self complexities, and the mental health issues. What most of the student used to neglect it. So always look into your problems and think how you can develop, how you can overcome there. And another point is a professional level stress that I should mention, that is due to the administration. In administration, your guide is there, university authority is there, lots of written rules are there. So this professional stress come in the multiple levels, in multiple scales. Like from your guide, he's giving you the stress, you don't have any results in your hand, you are feeling unproductive day by day in your lonely hostel room. So funding is going to over soon. How can you sustain? And during the placement session, none of the written test is getting cleared by me. And during the placement interviews, some of your friends may get a very fat package and still you are jobless. So these things will distract you from your goal. So this is a major disease or big बीमारी of our society कि लोग क्या सोचेंगे अगर मेरे से कुछ नहीं हुआ तो, what will others say if I become a failure? And nowadays you can see that many of the suicide cases are coming from IIT and IISc. So I thought to address this one, that this frustrations, these things, these complexities, problems will come in every aspect of life, not only in the during our placement session. So suicide, sometimes one of my friends during BTech, one of my friends did not get placed in Microsoft, and he returned back to his hostel room and committed suicide. So yeah, there are lots of examples due to the placement stress. One people can do suicide also. So my point is, suicide can never be an option, can never be a solution. Be brave, be confident, face the situation. You are an IITian, and no one is failure in their life. Always remember this. So here I would suggest, I would share some of my strategies during the placement. So I have followed a proper plan, hard work, and I tried to execute my plans, and eventually I conquered. So for verbal part, as you know, many companies used to take direct interviews. If you are having 8.5 or above 9 CGPA, many companies are having 2 or 3 round written tests, then followed by interview. So in these written tests, sometimes it is only aptitude, sometimes it is a mixture of aptitude and your it's a verbal reasoning and mathematics. Sometimes it is puzzled, sometimes the technical part is also adds on with all of this. So for verbal part, actually at that time I was preparing for GRE. So for verbal part, I did preparation for those paragraphs and other things from the some standard GRE books available in the market. I was having Kaplan and Manhattan 5LB. So for math, I did from Nova GRE Maths Bible, RS Agarwal Quants, and from some standard GATE preparations book like GK Publications and Aryan Publications thoroughly. Then for technical preparations, I did most of the things from the GATE books, and you can see, you just go chapter by chapter and you see the solve out examples, you see the major concepts. And here I want to mention one thing, what is I felt it is very important. Don't prepare everything for your placement. It is going to be a blunder. Just prepare things very wisely. You just go through the, talk to the people, go through the previous year's questions. You will find that many times they are giving stress for certain chapters. So prepare those chapters very well, and prepare your specialization in detail, because ultimately if you qualify the written test, people will ask you from your specialization. Okay, so for this technical part in your specialization, always look into some good books which are suggested by our professors during the classroom coaching. Okay, and whatever you learned every day, try to remember while you are going for sleep. And as I said, I did never prepare the whole syllabus. As you know, jack of all trades, master of none. And whatever you are preparing, do it at your level best. Be a master of knowledge, not a problem solver or a coder. I have seen many of my friends that I am very bad in coding. So I admire that. People should know their strength and weakness. So many of my friends used to be like, oh, I know coding. I know, okay, I'm very good in solving differential equations. I will do it. But during the courses, I have seen many people could not able to perform just because they were reluctant about the knowledge. I don't say they don't know. They were reluctant that they want coding because of some big finance companies, some big companies is giving fat package and they want coder. So all the people are running behind the coding, problem solving, aptitude, those things. So my point is, be a master of knowledge. Don't run behind something by seeing a fat package. And I used to read at night and used to practice in morning, because I used to be comfortable with this schedule. And I used to keep the weekends to revise thoroughly whatever I learned in the whole week. And another important thing, CGPA, attitude and research publication matters. here I want to mention, if your CGPA is 9 and above, what I observed, people used to be placed in the normally people used to be placed in the first phase, but obviously it is seen, just I have seen it, observed it, but it is but it depends on the individuals. Then your attitude, always be polite, be sober, be helping to others. Don't go into the arguments during the interviews. And if someone is running to prove you wrong, just accept it and try to make yourself better for the next interview. And another thing, many of the people used to say that if you are having a lot of research publications, sometimes company will ask you a very common question, that why don't you opt for PhD? Why do you want to come into the company? So my point is, research publication matters, because most of the companies, core companies, are coming as a R&D. So if you are having certain publications, people will appreciate. And remember, the publication is always a written document, a published document of your work, and it is visible to all. So we should have some visible output. Like if we are having, then it is a plus, obviously. But if you don't have, then it is absolutely fine. If you but prepare well your research, prepare well your project, because during interview people will ask from your project only, and then they will go into the deeper that is related to project. So don't do your project superficially, always try to go into the deeper. And nothing can be achieved overnight. Be consistent, be patient, do not lose hopes, miracle happens. And because as I said, miracle happens. 2 years before, I have seen that first phase and in second phase, from the mechanical thermal MTech, all the people got placed. Only one of my friends did not get placed, but later Mercedes or BPCL came and he got placed. So do not lose hopes. It's not like I'm failure, I could not able to do. Okay, whatever is your hand, that is a preparation. Do well, prepare well, practice well. Nothing will go into the wind. You will get something. And another thing, bad time will come, but be confident that we shall overcome. And this is my email ID. So now you can ask me any questions. And if you are having any further doubts, you can write to me anytime. I'll try to help you as much as I can. So thank you all. If you are having any questions, you can ask me.
Yeah, thank you, Arnab. Sai Sridhar Reddy has raised his hand. You can unmute yourself and ask the questions.
Yeah, hi Arnav. Interesting talk. I have a question. You said in earlier that clarity is required about what you want to do.
Yes.
So you got placed in TCS Research, which is for master's level. Then I don't understand why you opted for second master's. You did your second master's in IIT, right?
Yeah.
Why was that required? I mean, you could have gone earlier also.
Yeah. So okay, another important thing I want to say that the nowadays lots of people are laughing, are jumping between a very fancy terms, interdisciplinary research, right? I think sometimes you heard about from your professors also. We always support interdisciplinary research. Our research is in interdisciplinary nature. So the thing is, my BTech was in interdisciplinary in power engineering. So do you, okay, okay. Just I will give my answer verbally. Then whoever is messaging, can you read, placement team? Can you read the messages so that I can answer? Just I want to make a request. Yeah. So coming to your point, my BTech was in power engineering. So it is interdisciplinary. So many companies did not allow me to for the placement. They want mechanical, electrical, just degree. BTech in mechanical or BTech in electrical, BTech in civil, like this. Then I secured GATE 75, All India 75 rank, and then again my BTech was in power. That's why no IITs took me in, gave me admission in any core branches. So I joined in Ocean Engineering, IIT Kharagpur. So during that, I got one fellowship, Government of India fellowship, that is called SN Bose Scholar Program, and it is fully funded by Indian government. And I went to Texas A&M for 3 months. And during that, I interacted with many professors, and I learned that if you are applying in aerospace, let's say in US aerospace or mechanical, it is not a problem. But people used to prefer a core degree because your competitors are from mechanical or aerospace. So these are very established branches, and people know what kind of syllabus used to be taught in those departments. If you are coming from interdisciplinary, they are not aware about your courses. So from that, I decided, okay, I will return back and I will pursue my second master's in mechanical. So I returned back. I again wrote a GATE, and it gave a written test and interview, and I joined mechanical engineering IIT Madras because I want a core degree. This is the first point. And nowadays, if you are applying in IITs as a faculty position, they will ask you for one minimum one degree from the same department. So that's the plan actually.
And how to decide between whether to pursue a PhD later or go for job? Because I also heard that you got PhD in abroad universities,
Yeah, I
and
got
that would be much higher than what you will get here in jobs.
true. Actually, I got Mary Scodola Fellowship from TU Ramstad, Mechanical Engineering, KAUS PhD, IAC Bangalore, Electronics and Aerospace, and TU Delft, Netherlands. So I was having 5 PhD offers, and along with that, TCS research job. So just I want to share my story. Why did I join in TCS research, not in any of the, and why did I drop all the PhD plans? Because it was October 4 or 5, I got infected with COVID, and I was in hospital. So when I was in hospital, uh, Bajaj Auto, MRF, those written tests were there, so I could not able to attend. So once I returned back, so my actually I worked in a DRDO sponsored project during my MS. So due to the pandemic, the something problem occurs in the fund allocation, and they said by February the fund will over. So initially, I knew that my fund was up to June. So suddenly I got stuck because I infected with COVID. Fund is going to stop. After February, I don't have anything in my hand, and I missed 7 to 8 placement exams. Then I decided, okay, nothing is in my hand. Okay, let's prepare for GRE and the placement. Then we will see. Then simultaneously this opportunity came, this TCS, and then I was having the PhD offers. Now in between this time, I went all the private colleges in my city with my CV that I want a lecturership or something, a position. So apart from, I was having 2 masters, some publications also. So people offered me 10 to 12,000 only in the colleges, private colleges. And some people said that you don't have PhD, so we won't able to hire you. Then I thought after PhD things won't change in India. Uh, so and again you have to go through with that struggle phase again. So I did not want to take that risk. I said, okay, let's join the job, and in TCS research or GE, anything, whatever R&D used to come in our campus recruitment, after 3 to 4 years job, they used to provide you the leave. You can go for PhD. It's not an issue. Even in IIT Madras, you can see many of the GE people, many of the TCS research, other people who are in R&D are doing PhD. So if you joined in any good R&D, after 3 to 4 years job, you can pursue your PhD as well. So in here, you can keep your both option open.
Arnab, some of the student asking, can you explain what are the questions you have been asked in the TCS, and how it is the process? What are the questions asked in the interview and written test?
Okay, so I was having 9, so I did not have any written test. And as I got selected, shortlisted by TCS, so after that I went out of the placement session. So okay, but I applied for many written tests. So if you are asking me about the interviews, I want to say whatever I have seen during my interview in the TCS, and I have asked with my other friends also. So things are quite similar. The thing is, people will ask you, okay, someone is asking for the TCS shortlisting process. So they will, that placement cell can say in more detail. But I observe that if you are having 9 point and above, they will directly shortlist you based on your resume. And if you are having less than 9, you have to write an written test, and then you will be shortlisted. Now, once you shortlist, in any of the R&D interviews, people will ask you from your master degree project. At first, about yourself, very basic question, then your master degree project. So you explain it in detail, and while explaining, people will start you asking, what is this, what is that? Like for me, people ask me, okay, my work was in rotary atomizers. So it's kind of wheel, orifices are there. So you feed the liquid is coming like from the periphery. So people start me asking, okay, where we can use it apart from gas turbine? Can we use in other multiple fields? If yes, then what could be the operating conditions? What are the things have been reported in the literature, and what is the novelty in your work? Why should people learn your publication? Why should people learn your work? And then what is the objective and what you achieve? Did you publish these results anywhere? And if you did some mathematical modeling, people will start from, it is from first principle, or you did it with some coding or something. So what are the techniques you used? Why did you use this technique? Why not that one? So these kind of things were there. And then they asked me, do you have any well posed problems that you will pursue if we give you this opportunity? Then I suggested something, and that's all. So during my masters I did turbulence. So people start asking me, what model did you use? What is the advantage of X model over Y model? So what is the practical implications of this project? So be it very clear that they will ask the things which is related to, or which are related to your master degree thesis or BTech thesis. If you are having publications, people will ask, why don't go for PhD? You have to justify, and that's it.
Yeah. Thank you. The another question is he asks, which companies have you applied to, like before joining the TCS? Which are the companies you have seated for?
Okay, so I applied for Siemens G Ognicool, and TVS. MRF I missed, and G. Okay, these things. So and any other companies came? Yeah, only these things I can remember now. So TVS came in the second phase, as I can remember. So I got placed in first phase. So my name was out. And yeah, for Siemens I did not qualify because English was very tough. And for G, exam was good, but again I did not qualify. I think 300 people or 200 people seat, only 6 to 7 people were selected, like for interview. Then I don't know. And
Okay.
for Ognicool, they did not give us the result till the placement interview starts.
Okay, so can you just give me give everyone an idea about like what are the content in the test series? Like from which area they have asked the most questions, or like you are from like combustion, so they ask from thermal manufacturing.
No, for G, I'm saying you, telling you that G for thermal they opened this time. So I applied for the thermal. So for thermal, they were having 30 questions, total 30 questions in technical and total 30 questions in the aptitude. Aptitude means English and maths. So in technical 30 questions, 25 or 26 questions were from thermal. Baki, for another 4 to 5 questions were from the design and manufacturing. If you are going for the design, if you are preparing the design side, I would suggest, obviously these are all the suggestions based on my personal experience. There is no thumb rule as such, but my personal suggestion is, if you are preparing for applying to thermal, do prepare well all the thermal areas, specifically fluid mechanics, boundary layer theory, potential flow and Navier-Stokes and vorticity, continuity equations, those things, and then heat transfer and thermodynamics. First, prepare 3 things: fluid mechanics, heat transfer, thermodynamics. Once you prepare this one, then go to the aligned areas like IC engine, a little bit, the cycles, Brayton cycle, this Atkinson cycle, Brayton cycle, auto, diesel, dual cycles, their efficiencies, those things, calculations, and some basic of the power plants, basic of the Rankine cycle, and for turbo machinery, only the efficiency calculations of the Pelton, Kaplan, those things. And for thermodynamics, there is no need to prepare exergy part. Apart from exergy and compressible flow, you can prepare remaining things. For heat transfer, you can leave the transient heat conduction and numerical heat transfer, and do prepare well the radiation little bit, the convection, and most importantly the thermal circuits. And apart from that, if you are going to preparing for design, I would suggest prepare well for the different failure theories, column and slot, pillars, shear force bending moment diagram, and force calculation free body diagram. And and there are 1 or 2 problems will be on the fluid static, like metacentric height calculation, those things. And from the manufacturing, jig and fixtures, very important, jig, fixtures, and different type of non-conventional machinings, and the advantage of different machining techniques like milling, cutter, these things, those things, just superficially. And production, I did not prepare. Material science, I did not prepare, I left. And
Okay.
and very important thing, do prepare well engineering mathematics, because in every exam, differential equation will be there and you have to solve it, and the very small differential equation will be there. Just learn D techniques, Wronskian method, and from B.S. Grewal or Kreyszig, anything will be fine. No need to go into deeper, just like GATE syllabus, follow it. Overall, the test will be based on the GATE syllabus. Whatever I told, those are the things where I gave the stress.
So one of the friend asked, do we need any separate resume, make any separate series for thermal design or something? Is it like, have you made it or?
I made one master CV. One is for thermal and like my core, and one is for this non-core, finance and other things.
Okay.
So if you know Python, if you know C++, if you know Java, those are very advanced. If you did some major project or minor project in AI ML, those things will definitely matter in non-core placement. Even in core placement, you can show them off, but again, they will ask you from your solely from your research area, your research and things those are related to that. But in non-core, yeah, you can make a different CV where you can highlight your computer skills, like programming skills. And another, I want to mention that there is a myth that CFD companies, many CFD companies used to come and they used to take the CFD students or they don't prefer the experimental people. No, it is a myth, because I got placed in TCS. After TCS, I went to the off-campus Corning Research Center. Apple phones, Apple iPhones, or any of the Apple products, and some of the cars used to have the Gorilla glasses. So this Corning is making these Gorilla glasses, and these Apple and other things who use these Gorilla glasses are always give the tender to the Corning. It is a very, so I got a call from the Corning Research Institute also, and that was a higher package, around 12 to 15 they said, and that was having 5 round interviews, and they were actively looking for guy who can do combustion and numericals in ANSYS or in Convert. So I was experimental. So during interview, I said, I know these things. I know the physics. I don't know the simulation or how to do these things, but I will learn. And they appreciated it. And at the end of the day, I got placed in Corning also, but I did not join. So the thing is, don't keep any prejudices in your mind. These things happen, those things happen. One senior said, he said, she said. No, do prepare well. There is no as such preference. If some R&D companies are coming, they are having some mindset, they want this kind of people, your research problem will matter. If they want some IC engine AI application in IC engine guy, they will take that kind of profile people. So never get disheartened if you are doing a representation and you did not get shortlisted. It's not in your hand. Companies are having a very clear vision whom to recruit and what kind of profile they are looking for. Yes, if you are having domain knowledge, you are lacking in simulation part, it is absolutely fine. They will appreciate that you will learn, because they know the IIT people are open to learn and they can learn it easily.
One friend asked, if I don't have a publications yet, but my research involves many projects. So does that help?
Yes. Anything will help. I said, if you are having a publication means it is your written document that it has gone through some peer review process, and people judge your things, and it got published. So your work is already recognized. So no one can say it is wrong. But if it is not published, people can ask, okay, you did it, but how can you say it is correct? It may be wrong. Did you validate it? Did these things? Did you did that things? So many questions will come eventually. But as I said, having a publication is always a plus. But if you don't have, it's never be a minus. People will based on your projects, the way you explain, the way you can share your ideas, how clear you are in your research. People will judge based on your concepts.
Okay, nice. One of the question is like you are also in the general secretary of hostel. So
Yes.
does those PORs position of responsibilities matter in the placement session?
If you are going for core placement, no one asked me anything regarding your GenSec, you went to the parliament, those things. No one asked. People ask from your projects, your skills, that's it. But what I learned from some of my friends who went for the JP Morgan Chase, who went for the Credit Suisse, Boston Consultancy Group, Flipkart, people used to look for the leadership also. So in that case, those things will carry some advantages. But again, if you don't have, but you are smart enough to convert the interview, it is absolutely fine. My point is, don't use any jargons in your CV, because sometimes jargons will backfire you. In most of the times, you backfire you. If you are writing something in your CV and people pick that up and start asking questions from that, and you don't know about that, just you add that into your CV to boost up your possibility of selection, then it will backfire you. Eventually you won't able to answer and they will eventually reject you. So always be clear what to add and what not to. and whatever you are adding, you should have a very clear concept and very clear about that. And yeah, always try to make the things simple.